information to impart. You ask me how I know he lives. He lives within my heart. Amen.
Thank you very much, and God bless you, our sister. And sana yebe friend Dr. Paul Yeboah. I'm gonna be the new health seminar. Yeah, no tema Meridian conference, no. I'll say you says Obi wo question be if you have any question to ask, you can send him a message, and he's willing to answer you. Obi a wo asembise bia no ewo nansa dwumedie a odi obetimi atro ama no obe ansa questions ni nyina ano ama wo nti ye nyina yen kan hwe yen namfo na nyina yen tie yen Dr. Paul Yeboah. Thank you.
Yeboah say, ahubamwa waboyana, yenyina san kwa beshiemu. Was it without me, no? You can do how much? Nothing. Ye drive free fear kuraba so damn hay, no. Was one kaya hua, and your accident in tinky yamedu, not dumtina, wajiji tata de abishia, aha, any one a woofia, wotian war, YouTube mune zoom sunyana, yadi asadamenyame. And that topic na diabetes na your topic here me pa. So we need more be our yarisa idea beer, but modern for paper ne pen, not taking notes. I bet me up wow ni anasa wow yaribia, but modern tea and carefully. And set here biano, ya maybe shall sapum. I'm what prolong all life of Kakra say, near my yebishing, Umaneo some here. Send ye in an Dr. Biani, we are say our wardrobe for diabetes, say. Me de adro we what to ha kan katra so diabetes no beti ayira ne doctor for ya ne say won mo control nkakra kopum se bekun wo utwu mo chance so a e bekun na kan tete no na ye sikafo ya de na hiafo nyina nya bi kan tete no na ye fat people wona ye modu kakra ya de na nipa nketenkete nyina nya bi ma na ye enti me share my screen no na ye frase se me pamucho mo hunu reversing diabetes for screen so IT4 bibia koso kama IT4 mo mfi me share screen no mo hunu no mo end ho
Dr. Mpachwani.
Sana ye pe head mo asibebre sani edi kan ye no diabetes ye niadro banso ne ne ye besuan utie ne carefully now practice ya obetimi reverse diabetes completely because saya de no atuasete abejimra ye ba United States no na one mo was sobering statistics we nipa oha bia gina ho a emu baako ye diabetic. In 1960, 1 out of 100 people in United States was diabetic. 35 years later, the percentages have dropped to 50. Every 50 people walking on the soil of United States 1 is diabetic, and it's becoming a worldwide statistics. In 2015, just past 2015, 1 out of 8 people in the world is diabetic. We nipa nwotwe bia gyina ho a emu baako ayare diabetes. And in 2015, 1 out of 3, 2050, 1 out of 3 will be diabetic. Complications of diabetes. If you're diabetic and you do everything that the doctor has told you to do, take your medicine on time, eat your food on time, go to bed on time, get your insulin shot on time, you have a 70% chance of having heart attack. No matter what you do, because of the excess sugar floating in your blood, you will die from heart attack. You have 8 times the chance of having a stroke. I said earlier, no doctor has any medicine to cure diabetes. They will give you enough medication to control it until the diabetes kills you, and it will kill you. If you're diabetic and do everything that the doctor tells you to do, take your medicine on time, the chances of getting your legs cut off is very, very high. In the United States, we cut 200 people's legs off every single day. Excuse me, because they are diabetic. So ububu mayura kwa na blade ni twa wonan a ekro no enguda so long as I see chire wo moja mu no awo hwa na wonan no a blade twa no ye twa to atwene afa wo hwa na ye twa ya no so engu ni ye twa up to your knee ato atwene na affected that wona ba kono. You have very high incidence of amputations. You have increased risk of kidney failure. Every single day, at least 200 people in the United States are put on dialysis. Their kidneys fail them completely and have to be on dialysis, even though the diabetic patient is doing everything the doctor has asked him or her to do. You have 80% chance of going blind. It is so interesting. So far, now the share will be our diabetic and near chira. Efe part is a grapes ne etutua ho na moja jina mu na ichon ba kompe pipe uchun mutan wani babo. Wana niya bobebre ne nam ka kwanche ni nyina diabetes na edi won them say the whole world 80% of nipa won ma ania bonyina ye diabetics. We are bema so increased risk of impotence. Diabetic patients, as the time goes on, I didn't ma one cross a one beko kwanso. And so now one more year near doctor so one ye biada. In America, diabetic patients in Kwa any diabetic related complications, 40% of the health budget and the additional one a year trillions. Senior edi kanka in 2050, say ya ankasa United States, every day bia diabetes for sika bansa one a year $1 billion a day. 1 billion. 2050, it will be $2 billion a day, each day. Government ebene benye sika, it is they are one group of people. One is a government who will throw their arms up in the air. So while we are diabetes, konenam homa enkum. If you say, Ubia Nisika, we'll spend $1 billion, $2 billion a day. A basic Ghana for us, and nam nuania, yes, sanunchi. Saya denia to your city, a Ghana. So we are diabetic now, we are doctor see ya. Say, me bo we say, we are see ya, wa baby 11 years, and son wawua. Bedi said be 70 years in wawua. Etimicha unkwana so by 11 years. We are badia by 14 years. Now, brofoka baby quality of life. If you are diabetic and do everything the doctor asks you to do, you reduce your quality of life by 19 years. You will die 19 years earlier before your set time. And if you're a woman, you will lose 22 years. What is quality of life? If you're blind and you can't see where you're going, that is not quality of life. If you have stroke and you're laying in bed paralyzed, that is not quality of life. If your legs have been cut off and you're sitting in a wheelchair, that is not quality of life. That is what diabetes will do to you if you do not do something about it. If you continue to go to your doctor, take his medication or her medications and do everything exactly, this is what is in store for you as a diabetic. The whole world, diabetes send people, this is Amsterdam, Netherlands. Of all the other diseases that send people to the hospital, the blue ones are all diabetics. UK, diabetes sends more people to hospital than any other disease. Switzerland, Norway, Sweden, New Zealand, Canada, all over the world. The only reverse country is West Germany. And in Ghana too, diabetic-related diseases, if we don't do something about it, we will not have enough budget to control that. There are two types of diabetes. We have diabetes type 1, diabetes type 2. The type 1 used to be called juvenile diabetes or juvenile onset diabetes, usually used to affect younger children. There are several reasons why you can get that. Nowadays, people work indoors in offices and they don't get exposed to sunlight. Every single one of us, in order to get the ultraviolet rays to help you convert to vitamin D, the rays from the sun, together with your cholesterol to convert to the vitamin D, which is essential. You need to expose your chest, your arms, your face, your neck to sunlight for about 20 minutes a day, 20 to 30 minutes a day. It is important to go out in the sun. Nowadays, most people stay indoors. Go to the garage, get in the car, go to the office, and stay in the office all day and come home in the evening. Don't come in contact with sunlight. And so most people become vitamin D deficient. When you're vitamin D deficient, the insulin cannot work well. It confuses the beta cells that produce insulin. But going back to type 1 diabetes, juvenile diabetes, if a mother has a baby, the mother produces breast milk. When the baby is hungry, gives him the breast milk. She is not only filling her stomach with the milk, but all the diseases that the mother had suffered in her life that didn't kill her but built immunity to it has been packaged in a special envelope, and it passes through the breast milk to the baby. so that the baby will grow up with a built-in immunity to those diseases that didn't kill the mother. All mammals do that. Human beings do that. And baby cow also get the same immunity from mother cow. But if you take a baby cow's milk and give it to a baby human being, sometimes the A1 protein in baby cow's milk is not well liked by the human immune system. Let us assume that the soldiers, the immune system that protect the baby, they see the A1 protein from a baby cow or mother cow's milk. And these A1 proteins, let us assume, have red caps. They wear red hat. And they will say, this is a foreign protein that doesn't belong to this baby. Let's go and attack it. The soldiers will turn their guns on the A1 protein and destroy it. Beta cells that produce insulin for the baby also happen to have a red hat. This is an analogy. One day, one of the soldiers in the body will go around the pancreas and see these beta cells wearing red hat. They will shout to the other soldiers, those A1 protein people are still in the body. I see some of them hiding in the pancreas. Let's go and attack them. And the baby's own soldiers will turn their guns on the own baby's beta cells that will produce insulin for the baby and destroy them. So the baby will never again be able to produce insulin to protect itself and will die, usually will die quicker. They will live to 30 years, 40 years and die with all kinds of diseases. They will be diabetic throughout their lives. Thank God this kind of diabetes type 1 is not that common, but it is caused by the cow's milk that the mother gave to the baby to destroy her own beta cells. Mothers should be very, very careful. Today, we're going to talk about the 95% of diabetes type 2, which is caused by lifestyle changes, the way you sit, the way you eat, what you eat, the way you exercise. That is a very common diabetes. When can we say someone is diabetic? If you fast for about 12 hours and the next morning you check your blood sugar and the fasting blood sugar is above 126 milligrams, it means you are becoming diabetic. Or 2 hours after you have eaten any food that contains high level of sugar, prandial sugar for food, like bananas, it causes the blood sugar to go up. If they check your blood 2 hours after that and it's about 200, then you can consider yourself diabetic. Complications again. Diabetes have no medical cure. The doctors give you insulin, metformin, and all the various diabetic medications just to control the disease, make you happy until diabetes kills you. If you do everything that the doctor tells you to do, because of the excess sugar in your blood, you have 70% chance of dying from heart attack, 8 times the chance of getting a stroke, and you will get stroke. Increased risk of amputations, risk of kidney failure, or you can go completely blind. Recently, I was doing a case with one surgeon. We finished about 5 o'clock. He went home, I went home. So Paul, come early in the morning so that we start early. I was there very early in the morning. Where is my friend? He has gone completely blind. He was diabetic and didn't get the chance to learn what we are learning today. He woke up, couldn't see anything, both eyes gone blind. Diabetes will reduce your lifespan by 11 years and quality of life by 19 years. What signs and symptoms can you determine that this person or I am becoming diabetic? Oftentimes you will urinate frequently. Ukoka krabi na junso deo. Ghana de utim ko junso obi afichire. Ba wo junso ko hwa obehunu se entetia no won makotwa junso no ho ahia won mahunu se asichire wo junso no. Won hia asichire no won madi. Nti nipa na nyare ye kora no wonim se wo yare diabetes no. Ukọ na entetia atwa ne junso ho ahia na unim se wo be diabetic. Excessive thirst. Want you not to come down. Fatigue. Weight loss. Unya juma bi anso udidi wen why say better. Eduru kakra na fe breath smells wonum bon kakra. Basa pampano at is a paint thinner. I was special scent bi. Utanya frequent infections. Any symptoms are holding. This is what is happening. A comedy wabo who said no I say bosa. Unya aduane di kakra pe na wo ho ayawdene. Aduane biada obedie say ye banku, say ye cocoa yache, say ye fruit, convert it into glucose. A dear blue way. Glucose no na cell no na ma energy to talk. Come to one wintim kura mpaja unsa now the hoboti say fundi di for be weaker untiminante papa. What is happening is that the food that you ate converted into glucose, and the glucose went inside the cell, and the mitochondria in the cell converted it into sugar to give you energy. But diabetic patients, the entrance to the cell has been blocked by some fatty tissue, and sugar cannot go through that fat into the cell. So the excess sugar flows through the blood day and night and spills over into your urine. You go to doctor's office, he says there's too much sugar in your blood. And then he said, give me a urine sample, spilled over from the blood into your urine. The best thing is if you're diabetic, you don't eat anything, because any food that you eat is going to convert into glucose. But diabetic patients, and I want you to understand this mechanism, there is insulin, nothing wrong with the insulin most of the time, except that the body cannot process glucose because the gate to the cell has been locked up. Let me see. Every cell, there are about 50 trillion cells in the body. Nothing gets inside the cell because all of them have doors. God, in his mercy, put a door to the entrance of every cell, so that nothing dangerous or good can get into the cell unless the cell opens the door for them. Look at this diagram. On top here is the pancreas that produces beta cells, which also give us insulin. And this is insulin. This guy, green guy standing here. Any food that you have eaten converts into glucose. Insulin is the only thing that will open this door, catch one of these glucose and throws him. Once he puts him inside the cell has mitochondria here, a factory that will convert all the glucose. Would you see the bucket makora? So long as a mitochondria wahana, insulin need to mean in a pononwa. Obesis a glucose in diabetic patients. Their cells don't have a door. There's plenty of insulin. There's plenty of glucose, but the insulin doesn't have a door to open to throw this glucose in there. And glucose cannot enter the cell without a door. Let's take this illustration also. This is 50 trillion cells in the body. Nothing can get inside the cell. There's plenty of glucose around. It's waiting for insulin to come and open the door. Let us assume this is the door and this is insulin, the key that opens the door. Wow. What's going on? This is the insulin that opens the door. Except that in diabetic patients, while they were away, some children came, chewed the chewing gum, and put it in the keyhole. And the chewing gum dried up. Diabetic patients, And ankora bi baby chewing gum no one me be share open on safo no. Nti wo ba ya wo be hini safo no. Enam se chewing gum no adry no nti wo de safo no hyem kora a wo ntimi ntan no. Safo no ne insulin. Eno na science for ka ha no. Cell no na wo hai. Insulin wo ho. Wo try so be ba be hini pono no. Ba obi di chewing gum ahyem. Chewing gum no eno ne fat. Yellow ones are muhuni. Nti asichire entimi nkose no. Ena aduro biada ni wiase a etimi yi chewing gum no free ho. Ba bia chewing gum no free bani. Ebi free fish mu. Ebi free nantwem. Ebi free akokom. Ebi free oil mu. It could be olive oil, whatever. Oil biada, butter biada, margarine biada. In diabetic patients, adia no. A cocoa shed, a quanum, chingum, intimi hine. We na akokwa, 23% of it, yes, idea. Lean beef, fish, 52%, salmon, olive oil, 100%. We are diabetic, untimi handle sanye. And then our brofuatu didn't intramyolar cellular lipid. Nitia ne say a chingum. And I say a dintintin in I say fat. Fat no aqua shed dog key, to tennis of 1 year. Into wunti mean in epono. And my insulin numurum. I mean glucose numurum. Insulin wo and so be the chingum besipron woman I say. The only thing I say, obey chingum no free ho. Insulin obey hinipono say, Nanny a yebesiana, a bachelor or quana waiting me as fast as ye chingum no easily. Any. Ya tani chingum no near ye sadi any free honor, and a quano hinno. Insulin de maker, baby room. Do be a day beura say, no bucket makora, the body can process it. And the Yekan has said there is no medication that will make doors for the cells. And I said, Bemasa for 1 year, Juma. Ye betchrem near my betmama sen, aye, Juma nahini. Yamia design your body in I say, Adriani bia ye bedi and only 10% in your fat. It is any a woozy dine. Whatever. Breaks, no. And on the protein, a timid build a down on the cosro. energy, electricity, a wadam hono, and no carbohydrates. Fat no ne wo garage. John kwa wumpeni nyina okwa no akwato atwene garage ho. Aduane a obedie sasade wo mu a only 10% should consist of fat. Se wo boro so a ne aka ne nyina akogu garage na cause problem se da obenya no wakọ ho akofa. Beef ya woodie instead of say 10% na ye 29. Chicken instead of say 10% na ye 23. Fish, Prekwa 32%. Tuna, 16%. Ninyina bro required fat here for diabetics. Na sa woya diabetica, pese wunya excess fat. Yeah, bekwa koklogo cell nopono. Broccoli, only 8%. You are below the 10% and yameshe. Beans, only 4%. Brown rice, huebe 5%, still below the 10% and yamia require your body until untimi mfabin koto garage ho. Untimi nya extra fat be urase no akokrogo do nobono. Aduane fa ubenya extra fat wo mu no ayenuane free animal source. Say your fish. Say ya no ma aduane bia wo maame aduane bia wani aduane bia free animal source it contains saturated fat and non na kokosi chewing gum no kwan doki adino entimi masi chirenko umoja mu ana afa trans fat anokowa anuane no aduane a saturated fat wo mu bi ni. So wofa na antwinami or whatever nam na wo charcoal broil and ochina yebeka ho asem wo de tintinka charcoal ho wofa 2 pounds na wo we wo charcoal broil we na otena ase na wo we ye na 1 fidie so bebre betima we 2 pounds of tintinka. 20 minutes later you draw wo blood it will be equivalent of you smoking 600 sticks of cigarette in one setting. The benzpyrene, the cancer-causing agents. But never mind the benzpyrene, the cancer-causing pattern, saturated fat. We are diabetic. Aduane from animal source will clog the cell doors and will allow sugar to flow through your blood. And kukufuni nyina juma wono ya no. Na na Alaska ho wonum nima de friend diabetes kopum say wonum ko ho say ye America for ko ye pipeline the oil no free Alaska ho aba south ha na wonum be use wonum kro ye the hamburger kosi ho ye the asichire kosi ho the ice cream ko and ne Alaska for ni nyina ewu with diabetes. Ghana hana diabetes in noso ochina ye be hunu. Say KFC buy ye gusu say kro any hamburger ye be wuti san kokomba. China and Japan there were only 18 cases of certain cancers in Japan. In United States now there was 40,000 ratio. E be a China ye benya kwan kire no. Kopem say KFC call ho. Kopem say Burger King hamburger call ho. And now one in America pepe. One so de kora so wonru ahodo pi ya one de hwe hospital in Japan. Ye hospital ayema anso ye se e bedi sa anuane. Eye kakra bi ne ye gati use sa anuane a no an say ye be yare ya ye nya ho ndro. Nuane a e de fat ane sade excess e de ba ye moja mu na ekoye chewingama e clock keyholes na ma ye kwan ama ye nya ye ho ntete ane ye hwe ne he. If he said ochina nyame yadma ye betimi a kwane asa anuane fa so metabolize your friend trans fats. But near me each munina be anywhere dangerous. Send your movie. Milk, cheese, ice cream, yogurt. Be a friend dairy products. A far more deadly chain nam up biada ubepe. And then nokwa de win so. Ye de mankwarana no one timu ye won de saa no won gusu. Saa nuani anunti na quantity a babru chira ha na 1 in 100 people and a diabetic and then 1 in 8. If it's a sabre no one mun turn sa fast food see. Na the way I want processes saa nuani ni niema on de ka ho and ekum nipa 1 in 8. Ebia one day wo ho siko $1 billion to $2 billion a day. Ghana ye was Ghana. And we are ne ben and a betima boamwa reverse diabetes. Bibiada all animal products. Aduane a wode bekwa wabakondi ahye wonimuno should not consist of animal products. Eliminate vegetable oils, corn oil, and olive oil, whatever oil. So we are diabetic now per se unya hodina. Use food as your medicine. Yensanko in detail kakra. Eat plant food. Eat it whole. For example, 1 tablespoonful of corn oil will take 15 ears of corn to produce 1 tablespoonful of corn oil. Yen such a demand for any idea broba wiasi. Ye cry intimate nothing with 15 ears of corn in 1 setting. And Tino was it, eat plant food and eat it whole. If you say any processed food and you're highly concentrated, watching Yama, we use more than 1 tablespoonful of oil, which takes 15 ears of corn. Juba chibe we know where you should be 40, 50 ears of corn. So obedidia, eat plant food, eat it whole. Unya 1 toffee candy bar, it takes 30 feet of sugar cane to produce the sugar in 1 candy bar. Yemu hwan ya jaw betimi atena ya with 30 feet of sugar cane. The advice from heaven's headquarters, eat plant food, but eat it whole. Ghana and Yane ahodo and then the caloric intake a free moon 1,000 calories, 2,000, 3,000. Oh, a yene wafidi sunyana ye fruit betima hold 4 ounces of food. Say ye mo, say ye fufu, say ye banku. Wa fruit said ye ne a bayama. Sa amount to a befill stomach and say ye nkontomra and as a lettuce and as a vegetables a new 100 the calories across. Fruits still new 1,000. Beans, potatoes, white rice or brown rice, grains, the maximum will be 1,000 calories. Oko chicken, unam 4,000. Oko beef, wabro the required amount or so. Oko olive oil, wabro so much allowance or so. Let your food be as close to the natural one, not the processed food. Be as close. So oko grocery store, stay close to the natural produce section. Nyame na share that color asanye may be a red, be a green, be a yellow. Ni nyina ye nro na wadi agumu. Ochina nyame pa ye behunu enduane mu ni ebaboa yen. Let your food be as close to the natural one as possible. And kotna kra more to do grocery shopping in these processed foods. It will kill you faster. It will make your diabetes get out of control. 1 out of 4 of 4-year-olds in America is obese because you say in your near demand one processed food. Say, one of say, these young children, will be the first generation who will die before their parents. If they say, we call 4-year-old kindergarten in nursery schools, will high blood sugar, will high cholesterol, and your children are geared to die before you because they are eating more processed food. Another damage that prepares you for diabetes is sitting still, lack of exercise. In the United States, the state of Mississippi has more diabetics, and they also have more obese people. If they say, they all sit still, gain more weight. And that's why that state has more diabetics. Sedentary life will kill you. The only thing that will help you to make doors so that the insulin, which is in abundance, can open the door for the cell is one thing. It's not only food, it's not only plant food, but walking. Any one of us who walks, and let's go back. You walk 40 minutes a day for 5 days a week, and you will reduce your diabetes by 50%. If you are on insulin, you can shift to some tablets and possibly to diet control by walking 40 minutes a day, 5 days a week, because you'll be able to make more doors. And the insulin which you have in abundance will be able to open the door and throw the excess sugar into the cell. By walking 40 minutes a day, 5 days a week, you will reduce your chances of diabetes by 50%. If you have high blood pressure or any weak heart or stroke, walking 5 days a week, you can reduce your prostate cancer by 43% or by 46%. Me call you a health message you were London, Reading. Dr. B. Frame was a minye SDN, Madame Fubi, free Reading or Mammy, Bebeti and Master Moho. I have been diagnosed with prostate cancer. Niema Ochre say yenye, me cause ye, and it says my tested positive from 3 times. I don't need the radiation. Na me frau na mother was it. Or prostate cancer, or breast cancer, or stomach cancer, or whatever, or high blood pressure, by walking 40 minutes, 5 days a week, you can reduce your chances tremendously. We can cut the number of diabetic cases by 50% by walking 40 minutes a day. We can cut more than 50% of our chances of stroke, heart attack, and various cancers. London, one buses and underground subway trains, Yeah, na quantity of Bajimra near Coho School, and Pacitia ticket, Dear Tim Hurutna train Musa. To one more train conductors. Boss see ya na conductor number we ticket when we ticket for him. Yani I am to ticket no achi. One of my studies be say usually drivers no conductors no Jamaica no one more free. One me did the same food. One of me baby, and yet the bus drivers were dying from heart attack 3 times more than the conductors. Because the drivers just sit still and the conductors are walking up and down. Women who walk regularly may cut their chances of breast cancer by 43% and 1/3 of bowel cancers. Men who walk regularly can reduce their prostate cancer by 46%. London Reading panyin koi asom panyinfo no baako me call ho na COVID ni gina mu pa and waka chem se me de asori sika ekoto bank me see am ntimi nante I said me heart obi aso me heart no wo chinchim ni saa kaminya bra nkam frɛ no ama ne bɛka bi kyerɛ mo ɛna meka sɛ me yare so so obi bɛba bɛhwim asɔre sika no ama asɔre abɛ bɔ me sɛ madi wɔn sika me mia me de kɔto bank wie ɛne wɔn bo a me ma me kɔfa me ka de kɔ fie. The next morning I decided to walk 1 mile with COVID ni nyinaa no onim sɛ he was coming down with COVID and then he tells me say I'm walking 10 miles every day. Diabetics for a wasor mu nyinaa yeboa wɔnom ka ho wɔnom nyinaa firi nnura a wɔnom fa so ne insulin ni nyinaa so. By walking 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week, you can reduce your blood pressure, your heart problems, and your cancers, and most importantly, your diabetes. Walking and exercise and nebabua to make the chewing gum abroko open to be removed. Send ye by insulin and one betting. Even a very fat patient, they don't have much chances for many diseases, for high blood pressure, for cancers, and so on and so forth. Yet, if the patient is obese and he exercises, he has better chance on life than a skinny person who sits still. Walking creates natural fever and improves immune system. Ye nyabre in core details in if we say a perceive jabre for exercise. Increase stroke volume. Where Madame Fubi. No one pay exercise. His heart rate was 80 beats per minute. He joined us exercising every morning. I generally walk 4 miles every morning. And I am still in my mid-80s. After 6 weeks, his heart rate had reduced to 60 beats per minute, which means he has saved 20 beats per every minute. If you do the mathematics, in 1 day, he has saved 28,000 heartbeats every single day. Increase the stroke volume means, let us assume there is a flood and your basement is flooded. You can remove the flooding by using a pail or a bucket rather than to use a cup. When your heart beats with big stroke volume, you can pump more blood to the body than if your heart rate is just quivering. 100 beats per minute, 80 beats per minute. Athletes who exercise more, some of them have 40 beats per minute. The heart beats stronger, but has more time to rest. Lose significant weight. If you lose 60 pounds for 1 year, and you keep it off for 1 year, your diabetes will disappear completely. Lose significant weight. Women will cut the chances of breast cancer by 50%. If you have mental condition, depression, or anxiety, na se utirimu kan okora, adura doctor for the ma one mental challenges, aduro biara ni ho a compare with walking. So sabe ubako asylum, ako sisa nurama wonum, get them to walk. Wonum produce endorphins. Yeah, timibua wonum to get rid of their depression and as mental challenges are one more. You don't have to walk all the 40 minutes. So we need time. Now, so when your time open your time, so will come on. Which you check 40 minutes in the 20 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes in the evening, even better. But if you can walk for 1 hour, especially one at it, there is no reason. Senses a walk of fresh air. Harvard University came up with the studies. Do these things, and 91% of your type 2 diabetes will be removed. Don't eat any animal fat, whether it's meat, whether it's milk, cheese, egg. If you say those saturated fats, you better done chewing gum. Intracellular lipid, no, tin on can near one can say a done chewing gum now cockroach keyhole. Don't eat, eat food which is rich in fiber. Actually, don't add either vegetable oil, so we are diabetic. Whether animal oil, vegetable oil, butter, or margarine. Use food as your medicine. And then eliminate stress. And fadwendwene and hawadwene. Nansen, one year studies be were Boston. One for 5,000 nurses. And now one de capre. They took a sample from the cheek, the saliva there, and measured their immune IgA. If these nurses get a contact with a patient with COVID, what is their chances of coming down with the disease? The immune system. And then they gave them 5 minutes after they've measured their immune system. Said, we'll give you 5 minutes. Think of any incidents that somebody did to you, an unpleasant experience. How your boyfriend or girlfriend show you, or show woman show pa. Would this come out be so consider what a mama or boo faso? Would this come out be bushia was so won't you? Think of an unpleasant experience for 5 minutes. 5 minutes in this room, and they rang a bell, and then measure their immune IgA again. And for thinking of unpleasant experience for 5 minutes, they measure their IgA every 15 minutes for 5 hours. And consistently, some nurses had dropped their immune system by 70%. Which means he says, will be with COVID, you know, he will catch it. Or China, ABI talk about what are things that you can do to improve your immune system. Diabetes, you can come down with it if you don't have strong immune system. If you don't sleep enough, 7 to 8 hours, you will end up being diabetic also. And then cut down the stress, but exercise. Harvard School of Public Health, lose significant weight. And yes, Mississippi for no. Reduce body mass index to below 25. What is body mass index? Go to Google, it will tell you how to calculate it. But this is the simple method here. All right. If your weight is 150 pounds and your height is 63 inches, divide the weight by your height and you will get this answer, 2.3. Multiply the 2.3 by 700. This is an arbitrary figure. And this is the answer you will get. Then divide the answer again by your height, 63, and your body mass index will be 26.4. You need it to be at 25. So body mass index you're higher than 25, you are preparing to come down with diabetes, with heart problems. Me, na me de 18 ni 20s muho. Kopum se me call retirement na me nye no. Say it's still below 25 there, but it's shooting up there. Every single one of us should go home and calculate your body mass index and get it below 25. Eat natural food and eat it whole. Yet, Accra Mall, shopping mall, unnecessary shopping. Get your food from the natural source as much as possible. When you go to grocery store, stay on the fresh produce. Nyame nim senti a penti ade nyina different colors. Enro wompa. If you go to first grade school and you ask them what vitamins or what can we get in orange, they'll say, oh, vitamin C. They've got an A. You go to university and ask the same question, and the university students tell you, we get vitamin A from orange. I mean, C from orange. That is F. They fail. One orange contains at least 150 phytochemicals that the Lord has put in there to heal all kinds of diseases. When you peel an orange, so wujuanka, no white no skin no. It is a very potent breast cancer treatment agent. The 150 known phytochemicals in one orange, and every single one of them has a certain disease that it kills. God in his mercy has put these useful foods, medicine of all sorts in these foods for us to eat our food naturally. Yeah, called Wima Institute, Nansen. Me, me with one kidney. After 80 years in a kidney is my bread. I can't work anymore. The young girl who's taking care of my kidney problem here in Dallas is the head of department of that hospital. And UT Southwest has more Nobel Prize winners in one building than anywhere else in the world. They are sharp doctors. She did everything she could and gave me the best medicine she could until the kidney decided that he's not going to go any further. So he called me and said, Paul, come, let's put you on dialysis machine. I said, no way. There's no dialysis machine in Sechadumasi. So maritime person coffee. How am I going to get one? Instead of going to her, I went to Adventist Center Wima Institute. When I got there, my blood pressure was over 200. They took all my medicine, the best medicine from the Nobel Prize winner, and put it in the garbage. And they told me, you're going to do 3 things at this Wima Institute. You're going to walk 4 miles a day. You're going to drink 4 liters of water a day. Drink 4 a day. And you're going to eat pure plant-based diet. I have been a vegetarian most of my life. And konkonsa vegetarian mo bebre ye bi no unya kosia no adi, unya America no adi. One no aksan ko cheese. Wo so ye vegetarian. Wo do car to reverse na wo ko heaven. This time they say you're going to eat plant-based diet. You're going to walk 4 miles a day. You're going to drink 4 liters. Threw all my medicine in the garbage. I'm catching a doctor and said, "Ukasa me batna, you don't have no stroke. One of them backward massive. Mean father no ma. Mama half. Namsma keep half. Was it keep half?" For a black male, the kidney function, the GFR, is cut off at 60. Median from to 20. Not just a dialysis. Nitia ne say for just over 2 weeks of walking 4 miles a day, drinking 4 liters of water a day, and eating plant-based diet. GFR no rises to 65. 60 is the cutoff. Dede ya metia fidie so me ye nyina no. Those 3 things. And abom ho ba anka na me dialysis so. So can you. Bram me wo ho no abrantie we by 58-year-old man has type 2 diabetes. He's almost 400 pounds. High blood pressure. A1C diabetes was 12. A1C no aduane a wadi no bosome miensa nyina doctor for no twon moja wonu behunu se wachiti anasa wonchiti. The norm should be about 5 or only the age of 12. What the metformin so to say ye mo bebre da so or blood pressure medications so. After 18 days, he had lost 16 pounds. 6 months later, he has lost, his weight has reduced from almost 400 to 268. A1C is 5, back to normal from 12. Plant-based diet. Yenyina di aduane baako, yenyina what same cafeteria. Meyi aduane no photo achira mo achire. Nitia ne say after the 9 months of doing that, his diabetes was completely cured. And he had lost significant weight. 1 year later, his blood pressure is only 118. A1C was still 5. And the weight has reduced from 300 to 240. Entirely different person. Cafeteria near Didieni. You go there, everything is plant-based. Salad, cucumbers, olives, bananas, all kinds of nuts. And you fill your plate. My plate, photo. These are avocados. Ufa we kakra no afa we kakra wafuru say kakra ka wame. These are the kind of food that you do, potatoes, some kind of rice, whatever. Diabetic patients, kidney patients, heart patients. With this plant-based diet, ya mo free say to tree, wunhianam. Way energy mean kwane me wo yi GFR of 65 la me de. Me call Hona Dr. Wilson over 2 doctorate degrees. When ya massive stroke will be wo. Ama nipa wo be any funeral, chofwa overseer no ya fly no amanaba. Ne bat girl na peja no de no ba wima ho. Me kotono ho. Na wa stroke no on the right side a paralyzing on Timin. Doing those 3 things, drinking water and eating plant-based diet, and trying to exercise, paralysis has reversed, and he was running 7 miles a day. Cardiac hill, people be a friend of cardiac hill. Dr. Watson was able to climb it. You can eat your way back to health. We are diabetic, and also we are kidney patient. I want you to listen to this lady. Now,
hello, my name is Dr. Brooke Goldner, and I'm a board certified physician, and I am specialized in disease reversal using nutrition. Now, before I ever became a doctor, I actually was a patient. I was diagnosed at 16 years old with lupus. I had stage 4 kidney failure. I had blood clots that caused many strokes. I endured years of chemotherapy and steroids just to survive. Now, all I've ever learned never helped me with my health. It was always about survival. I did 3 years of genetic research at Carnegie Mellon. I went to medical school. I was chief resident, and yet I still needed medicine to survive. 12 years I was sick. And then 15 years ago, I changed my diet to a plant-based diet. I got rid of dairy, no animal products. And within 3 months, the lupus was gone. I have been healthy for 15 years with no sign of disease. I've had children and I've dedicated my life to this. And over the past decade, I have helped thousands of people reverse lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, multiple sclerosis, diabetes, heart disease, #1 killer, all by getting them to stop eating meat and dairy and eggs and focus on vegetables and high nutrient plant foods. And the results are consistent and they are profound. As a doctor, my colleagues can attest to the fact that we are chasing down an epidemic of disease that we cannot hope to catch up to or overtake because people are getting sicker with every meal they eat. But you can make that difference because people don't know who to trust. But if the dietary guidelines say that people should be focusing on a plant-based diet full of vegetables and fruits, and they should be limiting or eliminating meat and dairy and eggs, they will have at least the right information to start making better decisions. Listen, both as a doctor that is desperately trying to save lives, and as a former patient who has almost died many times because I didn't have this information, I beseech you to take this seriously. This decision about what's recommended to the public about what they eat should not be based off of what's good for industry. It should be based on what's good for human health. And there are people who are suffering and dying right now from the lack of this information. So I ask you to take that seriously. The literature is clear, and the results we see are true. When you eliminate meat, dairy, and eggs, people's health gets better. So please recommend a plant-based diet. Encourage people to limit or eliminate animal foods so that you can save lives. Please help me with this mission. I appreciate your time. Thank you for your attention.
Why a doctor with Drubia, the best medicine in the whole world, of Farnesa for 12 years. And so in Timiamuana, Wojai and Namuye. And that was it for 15 years. Me had the lupus, autoimmune disease, Nahoye. Obiada Wafidi Sui. Now we had diabetes and Nasa winning Mobia or Yaribia, but more than a boan. We need to make a change. Me di masa mo baby ye no. Mommy uncle here Deuteronomy ha. Was it for this commandment which I command thee today? It is not hidden from thee, neither is it far off. It is not in heaven that thou should say, who shall go up for us to heaven and bring it unto us, that we may hear it and do it. Neither is it beyond the sea, that thou should say, who shall go over the sea for us and bring it unto us, that we may hear it and do it. Deuteronomy say, but the word is very near unto thee. It is in your mouth and it is in your heart that thou mayst do it. 1500 pusumi pa. See, I'm setting before you today life and death. Nyame say, minim say nsema ye kan nyina bi be ko back to their refrigerator akofa mponche no awe, akofa nam no awe. No wasam ne mfia akogina ho say doctor me yare diabetes na boa me. Was it I'm setting before you this day life and death. I'm calling upon the whole of heaven and the earth to come and be a witness the choice you make. Set here biada Barbara so when you make a choice. But the most importantly, Seventh-day Adventists have been chosen by God as a peculiar people with a peculiar music, with a peculiar message, with a peculiar lifestyle. And you might attend different churches and you can. He has made them his representatives, ambassadors. He has made them his representatives and has caused them to be ambassadors for him in the last work of salvation, the greatest wealth of truth ever entrusted to mortals, the most fearful warning ever sent by God, has been given to Tema West Conference. Not for your own health, but the health of the people in your community. Was to say, if the children of Israel had obeyed the rules of health, there would never have been a sick person amongst them. If Tema West Conference will now make a change and obey the rules of health, there will never be a sick person amongst them. Yade adom ahodoɔ bebree nam kwan so ba. But Revelation says, because you have obeyed my word, I will also protect you from the great time of trouble which is coming upon the earth, the people of the earth. Nyame no ara na ahyɛ bɔ. Ɛnam sɛnea meka kyerɛ wo wodi so nti. Yade a ɛbɛshake the whole world. Mframa bɔne a ɛbɛbɔ no, me so mehyɛ bɔ sɛ me protect. Ɔno Nyame mmoa yɛn. Na ne ɛnnɛ yɛsua yi, yɛmfa mmɔ yɛtam no. Yɛbɛgya 15 more minutes. Na obi wɔ question bi a wɔbisa on this topic yi a yɛdiscuss yi. Na yɛhwɛ help a yɛbɛtumi de ayi ano. Ɛda mo ase bebree. Aitifoɔ mede bɛsi ha. Aitifoɔ wɔ hɔ. Na yɛ ana he na wɔn makote.
Hello.
Aye. Wotumi nka.
Hello, doctor.
Aha.
Doctor, me wa question kakra, doctor.
Okay. Bisa.
Yo, yeah, that's it. One church out there, my nana me pese me bisa kakra. Plant based. Na yes, you say yes, you balanced diet. Meaning say be a plant ni bi hono ya na tenya protein. We see we should abstain from animal protein. But apart from beans, no. You other source of between protein and oil so so how do we get a balanced diet from plant-based diet? So between I'm saying between boy in order to achieve a balanced diet.
Ochina nyame ya adumabra. Yɛbɛkyerɛ.
You.
Ɔsono wɔ hɔ yi. He na akɔɛ na wɔwe nam. Nantwie wɔ hɔ yi. He na akɔɛ na wɔwe nam. Mo ne ɔsono hɔ ana ne ho ɔde ne. Where does he get his protein from? Sɛ ɛnyɛ nhahan no ni protein a. Wode ne ti a ne sɛ kɔ Google. Wɔ plant different plants a. Yeah, ɛwɔ protein. Yeah, beans no koraa side. Plant nkoa na ɛtumi produce protein. Ano aboa biara ne hɔ a wɔtumi fa amino acids wɔ air mu na wɔ convert into protein. Protein wɔ wiase nyinaa plant na produce. Nyame na design saa. Na nantwie no akɔwe. Na wo akɔgye nantwie no deɛ second hand. Ɔkyena bɛbɔ modern sɛ yɛbɛkyerɛkyerɛ mu. Ba ne tia ne sɛ wo Google a mankani bayere emu protein biada nipa hia no, there's more than enough from plant-based diet. Near a free animal source ni nyinaa yɛ second hand. Na body cannot use it right. Infinity and no china ye best rich. But modern search now.
Okay, but that's it. Yeah.
Aha. Koso in metuunka. And you very like and you know correct. sɛ wohoo ya na watwe mu sɛ adeɛ no nyinaa firi hɔ wa na ɛnyɛ nɔkorɛ ɛnna ɔkyena nyame pa a yɛbɛsua biribi nyɛ sɛ sɛ adeɛ no nko na ɛyɛ more dangerous adeɛ baako pɛ ɛna wɔ wiase a ɛtumi ma cancer cells grow ɛne nam ho nsuo sɛ waho nam no sɛ wafa no fresh wode si gya so na nsuo gu ho na anoa wie a nsuo no egu hɔ no ɛno nko ara na ma cancer grow wode sɔ cancer so ɔte sɛ fertilizer nti nyɛ fat nko ɛna ɛyɛ dangerous wɔ nam wie mu ɔkyena adesua no bɛyɛ very useful bɔ mmɔden sɛ ɔbɛba IT4 wɔn ma wɔ asɔrda ma wɔn bɛyɛ dɛ na ɛtumi abisa question ɛne doctor kyerɛ sɛ kɔwe nam no doctor no ankasa medical school a ɔkɔɛ no nyinaa one semester pɛ ɛna ɔde yɛ nutrition bisa no sɛ on what base ɛyɛ wɔn ma noa yɛkum mmoa na pharmaceutical companies no na ayi sika a design the medical school curriculum as yɛsua ɛyɛ very deep subject sɛnea ɛbɛyɛ a wɔn bɛtɔ ne nneɛma de ama yɛn ɔkyena nneɛma bi a yɛbɛtumi abobɔ so saa kyena we deal with cancers 3 months out of the 6 years in medical school no wɔde yɛ nutrition during the first year most of the nutrition information I want at the time no one most school they didn't study it to watch Robbie be the man say kokoyu namwa first of all no and yeah accurate secondly a nambia anywhere produce proteins a protein or person wunya the best protein source if we plant source assess what you say kokoyu vegetables whatever a woman say meat were 8 essential amino acids but nano meat no nyɛ that safe ɛnam chemicals ahodoɔ a yɛde races saa nkokɔ no te sɛ neɛ first day no yɛtumi kaeɛ no we will deal with that tomorrow yɛnwie no ɛbɛtumi ama ntease aba kɔwe nam no ɛnyɛ the solution of our problems yɛhunu sɛ nam wie no ɛnɛ cause most of our problems diseases ne cancers ne nyinaa kyena yɛbɛbɔ no tɔfa nyame yɛ adom a and health food centers now can anything nearby send nearby more health and temperance department best set up classes nipa ne bebree be pese wonum be jai na me but wonim kwan ofa so ye nkwan makọ ye man no be fie a wo ye vegetarian kwan no ansa nsuo hye so na beans no twa kotafan saa no what they be so what in china to say vegetarian kwan ni amane de ye dene yes churches no betre the proper ways of preparing breakfast or china nyame ya adoma ma fama maybe from England mama Esther yeah or betre how to prepare some vegetarian idea meals but health and temperance department should be able to organize cooking classes. And tropical oils, say palm oil, and coconut oil, no, there is still strong debate. Can't no na me believe sa tropical oils, no, but mahunu ne coconut oil can do. Yeah, so we go slow on these things. Studies are being made, but and nam said was saturated the oils in it. Do it in moderation, including olive oil. One say me and one one course chewing made the olive oil. It is the best of all the oils, but also in moderation. Until coconut oil and now say palm oil. Do it in moderation. So we are diabetes. Now person will cure. Use food as your medicine. That is not the time ubetumi asesa coconut oil ne palm oil. Therefore, we diane. But when you would na fe in the maintenance dose, you know, we dia ben kwan kakra kan ho na say some oil that kan ho. I don't see anything wrong with it. Do it in moderation. Including olive oil. And ne kwana ye faso see dan ne furniture wo ho no. My main back off. So we call a big hotel or Accra. When you say in the middle of the hotel lobby, no, one might see water fountain. And then Siona Springer, what they are trying to say, they say, it's in Siomuna na or such a demacia. Yes, in Siomuna idea, the no one might jai from Kono and Martinafi and near Wofu Fordy. In Siona and Munano, a change positive ions, no. A surrounding yen. So be kataneni. Now one close to that person. Won who so was one agent. Iron barrier be iron barrier be surrounding. Who break it into that one negative ions, no. Sir, we call north during the winter time, nam from Mebo. Now, when some from Mano spends the Mika in Sweden, one more year operation could have said one who is a which nipa will bleed. In China, one friend Chinook wins. One man a manipa say, bra, heat no adorso, na positive ions no a surrounding no a breaking. A manipa behavior ye basa. And into the hotels, no, sa a near manasis or fountain, no, a manipa to me relax. It will be our better hotel for holiday for 2 days, no. It me man relax it to send nipa and shiamuna, a manipa ye happy. A to me manipa ye near maybe pray. Near my plastics are ye de furnish ye damusin, a destroy negative ions, no, a to me my relax, no. Absorb it me disrupt no. So person exercise now we have the benefit from it. 20 minutes exercise on treadmill at home. And 20 minutes the same intensity exercise outside. No? The benefit from outside is about 10 times more. And negative and positive ions are ubenyan fresh air. And especially when I'm poanoa as reachable na petin no. A change atmospheric adieno and man yet is any chinook wins no but say the benefit for exercise is better outside than inside for the same intensity of exercise. Loma Linda yes our researching one more for young girls come and one more for member say more tennis bra girls no cheer more up on movie any moja near measure endorphins. Endorphins in your cocaine, nyame de agu mu sora nopa now konanti now ba na wo take a shower. Obehese wo bohwe ma. Obehese wani age na wo tonyo. ɛnyɛ nanteɛ na ma wɔ ne gyeeɛ but what produce endorphins or cocaine yɛ ankwara yi fa no nti saa cocaine no level duru baabi a na ɛkɔ wo ntini mu na akɔ dissolve cholesterol no a wɔ hɔ no the more you exercise the less cholesterol deposits a ɛwɔ wo ntini mu na mogya no flow well. The same nkwara yi yɛ mmɛhyɛ a wɔnom endorphins ɛne yɛsan de wɔnom kɔɔ basement girls biara ni hɔ na yɛsɛ mommɔ tennis no at the same intensity. Wɔnom endorphin measurement no was so poor. If you say bra wɔnom bɔ tennis no wɔ outside na mmaaya ɛbɔ wɔn nsa na wɔnom kyerɛ wɔnom apo no wɔnom yɛ happy. So they produce better endorphins. Wokɔyɛ exercise na sɛ wosu gu wo yam a wobɛyɛ exercise a mafifirafiri sɛ deɛ ne a you won't get the benefits no as much. Enti ɛyɛ sɛ wobɛ exercise outside. Ɛyɛ sɛ wo ne wo yere anaasɛ wo kunu bɛkɔ na mɔkɔ n'anigye mu. You will produce better endorphins. Kyɛn sɛ wohyɛ basement na wogyina treadmill so. Yeah, yɛmfa nsi ha. IT for more. Kwajo, adeɛ na ɛkɔ so.